Yo guys, here is game number 2 between Happy and Lynn. On our previous upload, we watched Lynn's mass air build. Lynn, of course, number 1 orc in the world. He's rank 2 on the elo rankings right now. Happy, number 1 undead in the world. He's number 1 on the elo rankings right now. And here's game 2 of a $2,700 cup. The Showdown Sword Cup, which when I was young I used to pronounce as sword because I learned my English initially via games. I started learning English when I was 10 years old at school. Nowadays my nephews and nieces are learning English at a much earlier age. But we learned English for the first time ever at 10 years of age, but we already had played so many English games that we knew a bunch of words like sword, knight, and miscellaneous. Miscellaneous meaning, of course, various things of different nature. Something like etc. for things. It's a collection word. Because we never heard it pronounced in games, but we just read it from the game manual, so we made up our own Dutch phonetic pronunciation for things. What is your favorite dessert, Grubby? Might be... How would young Grubby pronounce fatigue? I actually remember. Fatigue. Something like fatigue or fatigue. Yeah. That was one word that also appeared in our gaming manuals. And what about the guy with the blonde hair from Street Fighter? Gil. Gil. Gil or Guil? Something like that. That's how I pronounce it. My family laughed at me for years. I'm British. You know what? When my family laughed? The first time I spent too long on the restroom, number 2, I was very young, and I remember getting out of the restroom, and then suddenly my leg felt weird. I had never heard anyone say what that is, and I didn't know what it was. My family was sitting on the dinner table. I had had a break, probably too long, 15 minutes. Came back, and then I got angry at my leg. I started stamping my leg on the floor. They asked, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to get rid of this feeling. It feels very uncomfortable." So I was trying to like destroy a sleeping leg. I was trying to destroy the sleeping leg. They were like, "What are you feeling?" I described it. They're like, "Oh, that's very normal. You've been sitting too much on one part of your leg." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I get it. It's normal." That felt very comforting. And they said I should just not apply pressure and just wait. Makes sense. I learned how to counter sleeping leg by now. Yep. Exactly 7 steps after the porcelain throne, I will stop mid-tracks, hover on one leg, and just stare in front of me. And I'll wait for a minute. Same Farseer opening by Lynn. Warmill, double burrow. He's making space for bestiaries on one side, even though left side Warmill would be more effective lumber gathering. It's also a way of spacing out his lumber income. If he immediately starts gathering here, then eventually... This is not such a big Warmill location, actually. Eventually he'll be gathering far. He feels he doesn't need it that soon, lumber efficiency, but later he wants more lumber income for all his upgrades. Maybe this is on purpose like this. Double bestiary space now. In fact, I think he needs to cut these 2 trees, but we'll see. I'm not sure he's being that precise about his build order. Undead doesn't usually apply pressure these days to bestiaries. Last time that was really meta was in 2004 or 5. FOF usually tried a ghoul attack to cancel bestiaries. Kind of a desperate move to prevent Orc from getting early map control. Yeah, he does not give a damn about his base layout. It's so harassable, right? Now he's sending his peons here. Burrow? Burrow? Maybe burrow here? Burrow here? Here? Oh, okay. That's kind of a weird burrow. Against someone going riders, plan only, isn't it better undead mass ghoul rush? Can Orc hold that push? Do you mean mass raiders or wind riders? Mostly, I have noticed that when people ask me about riders, they meant raiders 50% of the time and wind riders 50% of the time. Thank you so much for the sub, Assassin. Shadowhunter comes out. Double Bestiary. This time, Voodoo Lounge. No fortified yet, no attack upgrade yet. Happy is kind of camping here. Waiting for his slaughterhouse to come up. Wind Riders. Okay, if someone is going Wind Riders, couldn't you do an undead mass ghoul rush? Can Orc hold that push? Yes, they can. You could bring at most 8 slow ghouls on time to deal with Wind Riders. You'll be tier 2, you go with 8 ghouls. Let's be generous and add extra elements that will help. Let's say you're also sending a Beastmaster. So you're doing a Death Knight and Beastmaster rush. You'll cancel maybe 1 Bestiary. Meanwhile, Farseer, Shadowhunter are hitting your ghouls. He has 2 heroes, you have 1. You have maybe 2-3 coils. There's 4 hexes. There's 2 burrows shooting your ghouls that are trying to cancel the Bestiary. And even if somehow you were to cancel both Bestiaries, noting that you do have to cancel them, because if you don't cancel them and you go for burrows, 2 wyverns pop out and you have no anti-air. Alright, game is over. But if you somehow cancel both Bestiaries, Orc didn't yet lose anything of value. They're only set back. They still have 1200 gold. They just can't make Wind Riders right now. They start new Bestiaries in the back that you can't get to without taking like 60 DPS. They're still gonna get their Wind Riders, but you don't have any lumber, you don't have tier 3, you don't have anti-air. It's not good, it doesn't work. Hey Grubby, happy belated birthday. Thanks, Virkin. Just wanted to let you know I downloaded Slay the Spire. Watching you play got me interested. Cool. Did you use code Grubby when you installed it? Neither did I. There is no affiliate program. I'm so happy that you enjoy the game, man. It's such a great game. Potion of Invulnerability. This time Lynn takes his own potions. Not so generous as last game, even though he still won the game. Happy getting gargoyles again. This is not a surprise to Lynn. He's already pre-making Bat Riders, either because he is a map hacker, or, and this is my personal theory, he is a mental map hacker, using the vision that he doesn't see through his sunglasses, but through the memory of his experience. He has played Happy. Guards have been a part of the game. You pre-make the bats. Now this would be bad to, like, if you wanted to copy Lynn's build, you're like, yeah, I'm also gonna do this. 4 Wind Riders into bats. You're gonna meet someone that's worse than Happy, most likely. And if you do, God prays for your soul. I don't know who he'd be praying to. Probably to Happy, to be fair. You start making Bat Riders, but your opponent, who isn't as good as Happy, is trying to counter with Fiends. Now you've got Bat Riders against Fiends when you should have just had 6 Wind Riders. Not good. This was not a good engage here for Happy. Sorry, for Lynn. Lynn lost 2 Bat Riders without getting a kill. Some really cool Coil Nova acid bombing. Good gargoyle control as well.
Okie dokie.
What about undead rushing Orc when they see fast tech no racks? If your opponent does a 1 Blade Master, 1 Burrow, fast tech with War Mail and a 2nd Burrow, and no barracks, you can rush them. This is why Farseer is good. This is why I rank Farseer tier S. This is because Farseer enables a no barracks rush, because you essentially have 2 almost footmen. Spirit Wolves are almost like footmen, right? They have fast attack damage, and they do only 1 or 2 damage less than a footman. You've got 2. So even though they have no racks, with a Farseer you have 2 footmen. And then you don't even get XP for killing them, because every time after 30 seconds you can resummon them. And then you have another 2 footmen, and another 2, and then another 2. And if you can get through those 8 footmen, that do come out sequentially to be fair, they're already tier 2. Shadow or TC is coming out.
Forces are under attack.
Armies are so small in the start. This is what you should remember about summon heroes. The earlier you get any summon hero in the game, the better it is. The smaller the army size that people have based on real population, the smaller the army size of real population, the more a single or double summon has as an effect to outbalance the scales. If you're 100 population and you add a priestess with true shot, fantastic. Paladin with devotion, fantastic. Benefits everyone. If you're 100 pop and you add a beastmaster and a quill beast, I would like to submit you
A player's forces are under attack.
for review at the Scientific Institute to check if your brain is valid. You thought 100 food wasn't enough. You wanted 102 food with that quill beast? So the Farseer, when he comes out as a first, is one of the biggest army creation that you can have from a single hero. What hero do you think is the most threatening level 4 hero? The most threatening level 4.
A player's forces
By
are
himself,
under
yeah?
attack. Town is under siege.
I think it... threatening. Let's say threatening to someone's win chance. I think Demon Hunter is insane. Oh, Panda maybe. I think Pandaren Brewmaster may be one of the best. Assuming that at level 4 you also have 1 or 2 items, hopefully one that also buffs your mana. I'm probably gonna say Pandaren Brewmaster. Panda is the kind of hero that's not comfortable in his own skin at level 1. But he gets really happy when he gets level 3+. You can't say the same for a Farseer or a Blade. Blade is happier at 3 than 1, sure, everyone is. But a Farseer is fantastic at level 1. Panda, not so much. Panda is one of the best high-level heroes. I think Panda level 4 might be one of the best level 4 heroes. I'm going in my head over some other options. Mountain King surely is no slouch, or Paladin level 4, fantastic. You said threatening. I'm gonna say Panda. Definitely not Naga Sea Witch. Lynn is making a little change. She's going for a 3rd attack upgrade this time, feeling the Arcanite ranged weapons. Further increases the ranged attack of Headhunters, Wind Riders, Bat Riders, and Demolishers. Why is Lynn playing tier D flying XP tomes against the best player in the world? There can only be one of 2 reasons. Vol'jin Rainer. Are you ready for it? Either he hasn't seen my tier list, which I think is unlikely. Everyone is talking about it. It's an extremely culture-defining tier list. And Lynn, being part of the Warcraft culture, would probably not dare to miss it. I'm sure people have linked at him hundreds and thousands of times. But let's say he could have missed it and he's accidentally making tier D Wind Riders. Or, and this is a far more shocking prospect to consider, he doesn't agree with it. And then there's the 3rd option. He has seen it, he agrees with it, but he recognizes that tier lists are ultimately a indication.
Are under attack.
They're an indication for players. They're a fun tool to talk about the game. And while it can be true in general, they really only describe the statistical likelihood of a unit being good, which doesn't account for the specificity of certain situations. And he recognizes that if he plays his cards right and uses things in the right way, that things that are on average not very good, but when they are played with purpose, and when you practice one kick 10,000 times, then they can be feared after all. But honestly, I think it's option 1. He hasn't seen my tier list. But don't tell him, I'm keen to see more. Does Wyvern Poison stack on multiple attacks? Yes. If you get hit by 10 Wind Riders, you will have a very bad day tomorrow. Tier lists in theory are merely descriptive. Yep. Thank you for the sub, Loderick. What happened to the hero level overlay? It doesn't work for me in replays, I don't know why. We don't need it. I'll show you from time to time. Lynn is not doing well. He has not received his fair share of creeps. He is level 3-3 against 4-3-3. And I feel like Happy has fewer goals than he had in the game before. Did he lose a bunch of goals? I don't remember. He lost too many. It was pretty much like just a small starting club of goals, a little bit of creeping, a little bit of gathering, and then straight double Garg. He lost a few early game, yeah. Never remade them, obviously. And now has 2 armor upgrades. Not getting the third.
Finish Elden Ring?
I am in the process of finishing with it, but they keep killing me. The units. Some bosses in Elden Ring are scarier than Happy ever was for me. I've never lost a Happy 053.
Players' forces are under attack.
3-1 upgrades. He went for the tiny Great Hole. 80 population Windriders. Honestly, I think if I play Happy today, I might go 053. But also because I'd be really tired by the end of it, and he wouldn't. The Windriders not as split as before. It meant nearly every single one got hit by Acid Bomb. Still, pretty damn good Windrider army. Can he just kill the Alchemist? No, there's an Invul Potion. Lich has an Ankh of Reincarnation. Man, it's 51 population orc. There's just a couple of destroyers. Oh, Alchemist TP's out. Healing Ward is still up. Healing Ward was doing some work. Holy crap. Did this actually work? Really? With level 3-3 against 4-3-3 that just don't seem right. Something needs to be done about these Windriders. He's at 50 population against 39. Now, Happy is pretty much running straight back in. What did he purchase? A potion of mana. And that's about it, yeah? Oh, and a Rod of Necromancy for some Dark Ritual, I suppose. Whereas Lyn is being a little cheeky. He's building a shop here, which is an extra expense. Got a single heal scroll, but didn't feel like he could even afford some clarities back home. Oh wait, he doesn't have a shop at home. This is his only shop. He cannot get clarities. That's a huge deal. The shop gets cancelled. Happy knows how important the shop is. Death Knight! Death Knight! Oh, he gave potion. He gave Ankh of Reincarnation. Oh, the Destroyer, 1 HP. Get him. Lich getting attacked. Does not have Ankh anymore, but there's the coil. He can now Frost Armor himself. Would he? No, he's gonna Dark Ritual too. Death Knight does not have Death Pact. But while the heroes of Happy are being focus fired, Happy is being a total chat. He actually bought Invul, but couldn't activate his item on time. He killed many Windriders while Lyn was chasing. Farseer goes down now. Lich does not get the XP, which means Alchemist is almost level 5. Now he's level 5. Is he gonna heal spray himself? I doubt it, right? He could buy TP if he sells whatever he's making at home. Chemical Rage level what? Can you not see? There's no buff icon for it. He bought TP. He's killing more and more Windriders. This is ridiculous. This guy has a Ring of Protection +4. That's 24% bonus effective health. He's at 1000, so he has basically 1300 health or so when it comes to... Yeah, he's got 1300 health when it comes to physical damage. Doesn't work for like envenomed spears, but... So, no altar at home. Wait. Exhume corpses! What are you gonna exhume? The Lich and the Death Knight? What is this? A tavern revive for ants? He realized his mistake and cancelled it. Death Knight repurchased. Still needs to repurchase Lich. But guess what? He's not selling the statue. He knows that he needs a fortified statue that can help replenish the life and mana of his army. He knows he can initially cast Spirit Touch and Essence of Blight, and he has also got the upgrade already to learn the Destroyer form ability. All of this is going to be crucial to heal his warrior hero, Death Knight, and his cunning hero, Ruck Cold Skull the Lich. Statue rejoins. He starts spamming. Every 2 seconds you press BC, the hotkeys B and C, which actually makes them do Spirit Touch and Essence of Blight at the same time. You see, normal players, they just put it on heal or on mana, and then it does only that. But notice how it keeps getting yellow and blue, yellow and blue, yellow and blue. It's because he's, every 2 seconds, he clicks his statue and he does BC, 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 BC. Right? So he's getting health and mana from a single statue. And he does this the whole game long while he's moving around as well. Exploit? Yeah, because the funny thing is, when you press B, like a few microseconds later, C is on cooldown, and when you press C, B is on cooldown. But when you press them same time, they don't have time to react. Thanks, Lazy Duder. Why didn't Lin try to guard Tavern to stop Revival? He wasn't that strong either. He had like 2 Wind Riders, 2 Raiders, and a Shadow with no mana. If he stays at the Tavern and Happy nonetheless succeeds rebuying, Lich comes out, what do you think is gonna happen? He's gonna take a lot of damage, run home, try to Clarity, but there's no time. Alright, let's see what's gonna happen here. Those Destroyers are so tanky. At this point, Lin doesn't know what he should focus fire. Go for Destroyers, they have 2 armor upgrades. Go for Heroes, they have Rings of Protection. Invul Potions, Coil. Feels like nothing is killable with such a small Wind Rider army. It was just 6 Wind Riders. Against hero levels of this size, Lin probably needed 12 Wind Riders, not 6. The Raiders are cool to pin down the Destroyers, but he didn't have enough damage. 2 statues have been working away all this time, right? There's a coil there with Shadow's name on it. He just panics and uses the potion. Chemical Rage is one of 2 abilities that can get a hero in Warcraft 3 over the maximum movement speed of 400. I believe it's 400. 400 is the maximum movement speed, but Windwalk and Chemical Rage can get you to 522. Which is what, 28% faster than the next fastest guy? 122 on 400. This is why Alchemist is unmatched in this matchup at movement speed. It's a thing of beauty to watch Happy's hero control. Very unfair feeling when you play against it, but very lovely to watch. As much as Undead likes rebuying heroes from Tavern, Orc pretty much never does. Undeads like it because they have statues, so you can get a 0 mana hero out of the Tavern and actually feel good about it because soon you can use it again. But Orc doesn't have any mana generation like Undead and Night Elf and Human, so Orc pretty much almost never wants to buy a hero from the Tavern except Blade and Tauren Chieftain, because Blade has critical passive and it's just the Juggernaut, and Tauren Chieftain has endurance passive, so you're getting something out of them immediately. Plus you make sure that any fight happens, they start getting experience. But Undead, Night Elf and Human pretty much rebuy from Tavern more than Orc. So when Orc loses a hero, the game is often more over than it is for anyone else. Not because Orc is underpowered or something, it's just the mechanics of, you know, the resources that a race can generate. So Orc more than ever must save their heroes, but must do so without Staff of Preservation or Staff of Sanctuary. So you must have heal potions, invul potions, speed scroll. You've got tools to deal with it, right? Very cool game. It is now 1-1. In our next upload, we'll be going to the 3rd game between Happy and Lin. If you enjoyed watching, you made it this far, consider subbing to the channel. Helps a lot. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.